Namaste everybody. Let's say Jai Mahakal. That was my most important thing to happen to come to this place. Thank you, Vikrantji, for having this event here in Ujjain. Mahakal's invitation came to me and I'm here. It was a very great opportunity and I'm really thrilled and enjoying it. Very happy with that. Thank you very much for your warm introduction. Don't trust it. You have yet not heard me, so if you want, I have to prove him right or wrong. It's up to me, right? And my mind is playing games with me right now. So my subject is to managing the mind is managing people. And I'm not going to say a single word about the theory of spirituality or yoga or meditation. You have heard masters speak about that. And you have definitely learned a lot more than you knew ever before. But what I'm going to do with you is to share the experiences of this man who practices meditation, who practices yoga, who does pranayama every morning, every evening, what it did for me. So you have heard the very beautiful theories of yoga, meditation, and spirituality explained to you. Now let's hear from me what does it do and how to do it. Because it's all up to you. We are all sitting here, but I'm 100% sure that majority of you, your mind is somewhere else. Mind is a beautiful Hindi word called chanchal. I have no translation for that in English. If you can give me, Professor Saab, I'll be very happy. But it will never be expressed in the same way. Mind is very chanchal. It has already gone to Tokyo, to New York, and is back here in all flash of a second. So how do we control it? Even Bhagwan Krishna tells Arjun, you can't control your mind. I will tell you what to do. Rest of it is up to you, how you do and what you decide to do. It's all about you. It's all about you, the person, the Atma, the soul, and the individual in you. Where you live, what you do, that determines your course of action. So what did I learn? When did I learn my meditation part? But I have been a banker all my life. I have dealt with good money matters. But there was always a spiritual streak in me that led me to search, what can I do next? How can I be better? It's an individual drive. It's not a collective wisdom. I have not come across any individual in this planet Earth who has told us that we want to be a failure. Everybody wants to succeed. So what is the success formula? The success formula is that you do your best. You have to do your best. You have to create those conditions of satisfaction that creates that environment for you to do the best. Vikrantji, you are a great timekeeper, so please knock me at exactly 17 minutes, okay? Thank you, sir. So what I wanted to suggest to you is that this was year 1980. I was a young officer in Reserve Bank of India, full of arrogance and confidence, full of, Josh. I'm somebody because I had just qualified, appearing in an All India competitive examination with more than 120,000 people writing exam to make it to 50 available seats, 100 advertised. So you naturally have a bounce in you. You know that you are somebody. I made it there. So there was an element of arrogance. There was an element of, I'm somebody. So when I went to learn this meditation, transcendental meditation from the Guru, he said, he gave me the mantra. I learned the process, and he said, 20 minutes in the morning and 20 minutes in the evening. I said, a classic arrogance of the youth. I said, I have no time. I'm a very busy man. I'm a young man. I'm working for Reserve Bank of India. I don't have time 20 minutes in the morning and in the evening. And that Guruji, with a smile on his lips, with a twinkle in his eyes, he looked at me and he said something that they never teach you in any business school, or nobody has ever taught me again. He says, young man, if you were to vanish from the face of this earth, this very moment, Do you think anything is going to change? We were talking about ego earlier, right? The references to ego in our talks here. That was a massive punch on my heart, on my nose. I felt smashed. I said, oh my God, he's so right. Because the moment I'm gone, Reserve Bank has hundreds of thousands of people. Somebody will be posted in my chair, good, bad, or ugly, doesn't matter. But somebody will fill up the seat. Nobody will miss me. They will pay tribute. That Guruji has also had a sense of humor. He said, when you depart, some people will be very unhappy. Oh yes, your family. We heard about the word family here. Your family. But do you realize that so many people would be happy? Bala Tali. Good, he is gone. You know? So it was a sense of humor, but the third thing was the most important thing. And he said, those people who will miss you the most will have to go back to leading their own life, normal life, from the very second that you are gone. Very important. And I was to experience that some years later. I was personally experienced that in my life. That's what led me to accept the reality, the truth, that yes, he's right. And he said, if you can't spare 20 minutes for yourself, to give your mind a massage and a rest. You know, we were talking about stress. The words he used then was, when did you give your mind a rest? We never give our mind a rest. It's busy perpetually, non-stop. Just like heart, there's only one time it will stop. So mind is always busy. When do you give it a rest? The rest comes only when you meditate and allow the cobwebs of thoughts, the confusions, the stress factor to evaporate. That's what meditation does for you. And believe it or not, it's 40 years, 1980 I learned it, started doing it, I'm doing even today. Even here, morning and evening 20 minutes. It has done two things for me. Comes back to the another subject matter. 99% of the time, we are always reacting to life coming at us. Things happen all the time. Good, bad, or ugly, things will always happen. Life is not constant, and it's not the same every single day. Good things, bad things, negative things, not unexpected things. Life will come in many more ways than one. And that's what affects your mind. How the hell could somebody say this to me? How could you do this to me? So you do not like the infrequency of items that hit you. What is it that you actually control? Think about it for a moment. The only thing you control is your response to life coming to you. Your response is the only thing that you effectively control in life. It is a funny story, but I did it with my wife. You know, you have a argument for no reason at all, most of the time. And she said, why are you such a stupid guy? I said, thank you for marrying this stupid guy. Only you could have done that. You didn't get the humor, but you understood what I was saying. The point of the matter is that this is how you have to control your own response to life coming at you. There is so much unfairness in life. Now I want to warn you something about it. I asked Rajeshji, because he has done significant research in this domain. I asked him, what percentage of people are spiritual in the world? He says, just about 10%, 8% of which 8% is not so educated or mostly illiterate. What's the message for that? Even if we assume 10 to 12 or 10 to 8. We are living in a remarkably imperfect world. Bear that in mind. So when you learn these things, you are making yourself better. You are entering a world that is unreal. There's a famous slang that goes in America, what's life when rubber hits the road? I had the privilege being in the American Express Bank and to attend many senior management, very fabulous programs. My concern was only one. Each time I did those courses and came back to office, I was the same old rat. Nothing changed because nothing had changed around me. I learned a few tips and techniques to do this or do that. But beyond that, it was not relevant or applicable in the workplace where things had not changed in the environmental sense. That's very important to understand. So when I was doing this part, training programs and everything else, you realize that these training programs are designed for a particular purpose. But what you learn is, unless and until you embody that learning in you, it's called the somatic exercise. It's like driving and swimming or playing tennis. Unless and until you have embodied that, it doesn't become part of your life. You cannot learn tennis by watching Roger and Rafa play the game. You cannot become a golfer by reading the manual of how Tiger Woods plays the game. You cannot become a Virat Kohli by seeing his sixes. Think about it. Driving, for example. How exciting it was when we learned driving for the first time. The inquisitiveness, how to put the ignition key, but few years later, it had become part of your psychosomatic exercise. Everything is involuntary. So unless and until you make meditation and yoga part of your essential being, that even today people are shocked that I get up at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the US, whatever, and I do my pranayam. Now what did pranayam do to me? I learned it when this Baba Ramdev came to New York. He did a course and I did the certification for my satisfaction. But pranayam I chose 3 or 4 exercises of pranayam to do. You can't do everything. But those 3 or 4 exercises changed my body, changed my life, changed the color of my skin. Because so much more oxygen was going in me that I did not know I was the storehouse of CO2. And what do you do in pranayam? You are ejecting CO2 and inhaling oxygen. It's as simple as that. My friends, my thought to you is the young people right there. I was talking to 3 or 4 of them. They are doing nursing. And there was one young man who was honest enough to say, I said, why are you doing nursing? Easiest way to go to UK. That was a nice statement. It was a great, truthful, honest statement. That is the nicest, easiest way to go to America. But my question to all of you is, to young people is, and that's what I want to tell you, you are the future of this country. Your mind has to be, to use the Hindi non-translatable word, paripakwa. And you have to be independent in your mind, thinking what you are good at, what you are best at. This is very important because that's where your mind is confused. What do I do? Why are you in nursing? Ask that fundamental question. Why am I in IT? Why am I doing a banking work? Unless you got to do what you are best at. And that's my advice to you. And in closing, I will add only 2 things. It's your mind. It doesn't belong to anybody. It belongs to you. And it's up to you to develop it or let it stunt. That's all up to you. The choice that you make in life is about decisions that you take in life. So for example, you have a choice to do 20 minutes of meditation or watch 2 hours of television program, right? So easy to do that. If you have a choice to do 15 minutes of pranayam or watch 2 hours of cricket game, nothing wrong in it. Cricket match outcome will not change because you did your thing. Do your adjustment in life because the 24 hours and 7 days in a week is constant for everybody, no exceptions. Whether you are a president, prime minister, director of IIM, or Vikrant, or myself, or you, or anybody. 24/7 is constant for everybody. So how do you manage the time? So managing time is, again, a misnomer. What you actually manage is your commitment, and your commitment and your energies. That's where spirituality will do to you. When you do your meditation, do your pranayam, your body, mind, and spirit is in a great sync. That's what, again, the sports teaches us. I'm a sportsman. I never wanted to lose, but we will lose. We are not going to win all the games. You are going to lose. What does the sportsman do? He doesn't sit, cry, and boo-boo all over the place. Oh, I lost, that fellow cheated me and all that. What happens in sports? You get beaten, you get up, dust off, get back into the game again. Every sport is like that. Remember, again, sports teaches you something. You will make mistakes. Don't think you are mistake-free. Best of soccer players have missed penalties. Best of cricket players have dropped catches. What do? They go back to learning. This is another thing that happened to me, and I'm sharing my personal experiences to inspire you to adopt these things in your life. This is the century because technology is able to help you grow and learn more. So when you learn spirituality practices, the spirituality practices come from meditation, yoga, sadhana, and everything else. What it does to you is that you become a good learner. You know, somebody mentioned in the previous sessions that in this country we punish the failed guy. He's failed. America, what I learned were they love the comeback kids. You know, you have the opportunity to return. Life is not one time. You can do better. Now, in these 15, 20 minutes, there is so much more to say. I can talk for hours, but I will hold my horses. And Vikrantji knows me. I'm very delighted and honored to be involved with United Consciousness. Vikrantji, myself, you heard Vivekji, you know, then there was our friend from Germany, Sukhdevji. We have been meeting every 33 weeks or 4 weeks talking about this subject matter. It's truly a privilege and honor to be involved in whatever small capacity I am. And I took the commitment, I made the decision and made the commitment that I'll come for this event, the first ever in-person meeting. And I'm particularly grateful to all of you who have come here from other countries to demonstrate it to other people that these people took their decision. Nobody went and told them to do this. They saw the virtue in it. Josh talked about the fact that he found country was so happy. You know, yesterday, the lady from California was saying her experience of being happiness in India. But the happiness index run by somebody else puts India on the lowest rank. But there is a reason for that. We'll talk another time. The last and final thing that I will tell you is that to all the young people there, you have a challenge for a job. And I will tell you my experience on that. I have 1 minute time to close. Don't look for a job. I'm making a controversial statement here. Don't look for a job. They were talking about, Dr. Bala was talking about Karma Yogi. That's the subject matter we have been doing all the time. That's what we do. Find life. That's where life, that's what all it matters to you. It ought to matter to you. नौकरी तो सबको मिल जाती है. नौकरी में आप नौकर बनते हैं. I can't translate this in English. It means that in a job, you remain in indentured servitude. You are serving for somebody else. When you are not doing a job, when you find a life, is to work your life around the talent that you have. Everybody has a God-given talent. Identify it. How to identify it? There is a simple word for that. It's an exercise, but it's a simple word for that. What do you normally and naturally revert to doing? Something that comes naturally to you. Build your skills around that and drive it with your value systems. You found your life. You will never have to find a job again. Thank you very much.